Hey everyone, Axiom666 here, that hillbilly in Japan. Come on in, kick your feet up, throw back some of that Kool-Aid. Got some fun Back for Blood content for you today. First and foremost, as usual, I am a Twitch streamer. I stream 4 days a week. The link is on the screen. It's right there. I got that. But now we got that out of the way. Like I said before, I got some Back for Blood content for you today. This is probably my favorite deck that I've got. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing like my Pinata melees that I've been putting up, or got a gun deck. It's still a melee deck. I mean, that's kind of my thing. This one's really simple. This is my Holly melee, or let's just say Holly vampire deck. She's all about high damage resist and lots of healing efficiency and melee health restoring cards. She's a bit ridiculous. She's a lot of fun to play. Good kind of melee deck that you can just turn your brain off with, and it's somewhat ping friendly. Now mind you, you still couldn't use it if you're, say, in the 200s. I mean, who melees in the 200s? But you could get away with meleeing this in the 100s. I've seen it. I've ran with somebody who was using this deck well within the 100s. It's got enough health restoration that it can push its way through it. So it is a very new player friendly deck, as long as you got the cards for it. But it's enough of me running my mouth. Let's get over and I'll show you the deck, and got some awesome footage that really showcases this build at its strengths. But enough further ado, let's get over there. Alright everyone, here is the Holly Vampire deck. Like I said, this is my favorite deck. Bar none, this is it. If you don't feel like sticking around for the video, there it is on the screen. Copy it and grab it, paste it in your game. All I ask, as usual, make sure you swing back, give me some input, let me know what you think. If you see improvements you can make in there, I mean, awesome. I'll take improvements to this deck. I love this deck. But hit me up in stream, hit me up in Discord, throw a comment in my YouTube. I'm easy to get a hold of. Links will be down in the description as usual to any relevant places. But those sticking around, let's go ahead and break down the deck. First and foremost, as usual, any deck you see come from me. First card is Share the Wealth. That's my card. That's my economy card. I'll never run two. Some people don't like it. Tough. The way I play. Alright, moving on. So, Battle Lust. Actually, you'll notice here, Battle Lust, Vanguard, Face Your Fears. I'll go ahead and toss all three of those on the screen. These are very important to the deck. I mean, it's all about being a vampire. It's all about gaining health back. Battle Lust, of course, restores 1 health per melee kill, and on top of that, it restores 0.1 trauma a kill. So basically, if you kill 10 ridden, you restore 1 trauma. The trauma part of it, you won't usually get a lot of value out of that, but there are situations, especially in a build like this, it gets quite a bit of value because you always have temp health. So you will get a lot of value out of it, surprisingly. The trauma part of it, I mean. But it's really good for this one. And then, of course, we got Vanguard. And obviously, Vanguard's really strong. Believe that is the strongest team support card for melee that's out there currently. I used to be a big Battle Luster until they changed Vanguard the way it works. Obviously, for this deck, really strong. 1 health per kill. Of course, it gives you also health to your teammates, which is very, very valuable. And of course, moving on, we got Face Your Fears. Pretty standard. Obviously, this should be in every melee deck, bar none. Deals 1 temporary health whenever you kill ridden within 2.5 meters. Very, very important. Especially, there's a couple cards in here later on that will make those 3 cards extremely valuable. We'll get into those later. All right, moving on. Now, into our good old 3 melee, stamina, efficiency, and speed type cards. It just makes the melee work. We'll go ahead and toss all three on the screen. We got Meth Head, Brazen, and Adrenaline Fueled. Obviously, Meth Head, a lot of people don't like it out there. There's a lot of people that do like it. You know, it's kind of a love-hate relationship, I guess. I love it. I think it's better than it's ever been. I've said that more than once. I don't care that I have to keep the stacks up on it. I mean, I figure that's a good trade-off. I mean, a card like that should have a penalty to it. And having to keep stacks up, that's not big a deal. You just got to punch occasionally. You know, 50% melee speed and 50% melee stamina efficiency. You can't knock that. It's very, very valuable. And then, of course, we're following it up with Brazen. Brazen is just, it's a no-brainer. There's no reason you shouldn't take this card. It has no penalty anymore. Obviously, it's a little weaker than it used to be, as we've touched on before. But 15% melee stamina efficiency and 20% melee attack speed. It's really, really good. It helps, I like it. It helps build up Meth Head that much faster. That's its whole thing. But, yeah, good card. And, of course, Adrenaline Fueled, which I always run with Holly, because Holly starts with that base 25 stamina. And then, of course, Adrenaline Fuel just gives her stamina for days. When you kill an enemy, you gain 5 stamina instantly, and an additional 7 stamina over 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So what? 35 stamina over 7 seconds if you get it stacked up. It's that 5 instant stamina that is very, very valuable, especially if you're rocking a bat or a machete, especially a machete. You will definitely gain more stamina than you lose. Very, very, very strong for this deck. You even see sometimes in the footage I'll be almost out of stamina at very clutch moments, and this card brings my stamina back from the brink. Very, very important. Okay, so the next card's coming up. We're going to go ahead and toss all 4 of them on the screen. We got EMT Bag, Medical Expert, Antibiotic Ointment, and Well Rested. These 4 cards are extremely, extremely important in any melee deck, if you can get any of them in there. But if you get all 4, especially in a Holly deck, these are extremely strong. Talking earlier about Battle Lust, Vanguard, and Face Your Fears, those are affected by these cards. On top of that, your passive is also affected. Holly, as most people know, and those that don't, Holly has pretty much Battle Lust as a passive, minus the whole trauma healing part of it, just the healing part, and it is affected by healing efficiency. So, for that be the case, we are running EMT Bag, which is 50% healing efficiency. Great card, no downside. Medical Expert, which is another 15% healing efficiency. That one affects the team, but regardless, 15% healing efficiency. Get some revive speed in there and a little bit of trauma. That part's not important in this scenario. Antibiotic Ointment, which is a nice 25% healing efficiency. Plus you gain 10 temp health whenever you use a medical accessory. Again, not a big deal. I mean, I guess it's nice if you happen to use a pill in a pinch. But a 25% heal efficiency was what we're really looking at. And then we got Well Rested, which is obviously 5% team healing efficiency. And then, of course, you get that 20% overheal, which is also really, really strong, especially in a deck like this. So all in all, just the deck by itself, without any outside buffs, is 95% healing efficiency. That is really good because it makes Battle Lust restore 1.95 health a kill. It makes Vanguard restore 1.95 health a kill. It makes Face Your Fears restore 1.95 temp health a kill. And it makes your passive restore 1.95 health a kill. That's a lot of health. I mean, just basic numbers in my head. Well, it's over 5 health a kill. Let's just put it that way. And then, of course, the Face Your Fears part. And then, of course, Well Rested, the 20% overheal. That's not a lot of overheal, but at least some of that health will be turned into temp health. Now, if you can get some outside influence, so I do believe the footage in the background, which I'm pretty proud of this moment, but I believe the doc, maybe, There might have been a medical expert, at least one more medical expert and one more well-rested out there. I can't remember completely, but I do believe at least one more well-rested and at least one medical expert, not more than that. But so I was actually running at 115% healing efficiency, which is nice. Definitely helped a little bit. And of course that also put me at 40% overheal, which is really good. So a lot of that over 5 health got turned into temp health once my health was full. So very clutch. But these 4 cards are extremely strong and important to this deck. That's what turns it into a vampire and what gives it all of its strength. And then of course, following those cards up, we are going with Fit as a Fiddle. This one's pretty standard, really good card. That 20% team bolstered health, which affects you and the team, which means your Vanguard won't go to waste when you get that overheal going into temp health for it. That way you're giving your teammates temp health. And of course, 5 team health. Can't ever go wrong with team health. Always recommend, if you can, especially if you're running No Hope, if you can get one of your teammates to use Charisse. Very valuable. I mean, it's a free Fit as a Fiddle, basically. So you'll have 40% team bolstered health instead of 20, which is a lot better. I'm always more comfortable with 40 than 20. 20 is not very noticeable, but when you get into 40, it's a nice second health bar. It's a nice length to it. It's really good. So a Charisse is good, especially for armor pieces. Armor pieces are really good, especially if you plan on tanking and taking hits as melee, which you will see me do in some of this footage. Very strong card for a melee. Then, of course, we're following it up with Spiky Bits. Spiky Bits is strong in any melee deck. It is standard. You have to have Spiky Bits in your melee decks. There's no question about it. I mean, 20% melee damage, I misspoke. 20 flat melee damage, not percentage, flat melee damage. That's what allows this card to 2-hit most commons with punches, which you will see me do that a few times in the video as well. Very strong. I really like the change they made to this card. It gives it some versatility. It basically replaces combat knife. Not as strong as combat knife used to be, since it was a one-shot no matter what. Technically it still is, it's just not as versatile anymore. But Spiky Bits, the punching doesn't use a lot of melee anyways. You hit the 2 hits, it still has the CC of pushing enemies back. On top of that, you get 20% damage resistance while using a melee weapon. So that's nice. We're up to 20%. It's a very strong card. And of course, you get a minus 15% ammo capacity. If you're all in on melee, you don't care about ammo. You just don't. I mean, people that know me, who's run with me, or watch my stream, when I play melee, I'm all in. It's very rare I use a gun. Shoot a sleeper here or there. That's pretty much it. I think there's one part in the video near the end I got flustered and accidentally switched to my gun and shot it before I realized I wasn't on my melee weapon. It was a stressful moment. Sue me. And then following that up is Motorcycle Helmet. Another pretty standard melee card. This is another really strong good one. 15% damage resistance, 10 health, and then of course it disables your aim down sights. But there again, we're melee, we don't care about aiming down sights. So as of right now, counting Spiky Bits and Motorcycle Helmet, we are up to 35% damage resist. But wait, Ollie has a natural 5% team damage resist, so you're actually at 40% damage resist. Now, in the past, this is pretty much where that deck dried up on damage resist. My final card in this deck used to be Ignore the Pain. But I've been taking this thing through No Hope, and I noticed in the later parts of the act, you know, when you start running into those really stronger commons, like your monstrous blitzings, and just the acid when you get farther in, the fire, I noticed the 40% damage resistance was not cutting it. I was having to pay attention a lot more, and I wasn't quite as unstoppable as I was in the first, say, 3/4 of the act. And I wasn't happy with that. So this final card I used to replace Ignore the Pain, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Following up, we got Numb. I ended up throwing Numb in it. So that is, you gain plus 10% damage resistance while you have temporary health. You will notice this deck always has temporary health. If you don't have temporary health in this deck, you're doing it wrong. And that brings our 40% damage resist up to 50. 50 is a very, very happy number. You will find, when you get into the later acts, that you will pretty much push through everything. And it is very, very valuable. I don't have this in any of the footage, but this deck can also push through pure chaos. It doesn't really care about pure chaos. Now, of course, if you get into pure chaos in the last 3/4 of the act, it's pure chaos and you're near the end of an act. You have to be a little more careful, just like anybody else. Well, not like anybody else, you still have quite a bit of survivability. But, regardless, 50% damage resist. And that, everyone, is the Vampire Holly deck, or Holly Vampire deck, however you want to call it. Holly Melee Vampire deck, however you want to word it. That is the deck. Very strong. At times, borderline unstoppable. You can see it in the footage in the background. This was a great shining moment for me. Of course, this deck does things like that all the time. It is just a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun playing with it. It's really good, really strong. Don't get me wrong, I love my Pinata Melee decks, but sometimes it's just fun to turn the brain off and go simple. But I will get some more videos up for you guys in the future. But until then, happy gaming, keep drinking that Kool-Aid, and